All right, we're back. The Dyson boys are back. It is, what's today, Thursday?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Thursday, October 11th.
Yep. Yesterday was
Man, I'll tell you, it's really easy to lose track of days.
Yes, it is.
Bobby says, I use Saturday, college game day, as the first day of the week.
Man, it's 2 days from college game day.
Well, I tried that and it still didn't work, man. I still lose my days. So that doesn't work for me. I guess I'll just keep checking the calendar to see what day it is, when I think about that. So now the media says that this mob mentality we've seen out there, the media, that lying mainstream media, is saying there's no such thing as a democratic mob. Okay, so you guys haven't seen this mob mentality out there, right, media? Let's just take a look at something. The day that Judge Kavanaugh was confirmed, what did we see? The mob out going crazy.
Yeah.
Shame. Not one person, but the mob all over the streets, raising hell, screaming and yelling. What did we see the day that he was sworn in? Same thing.
Yeah.
It's like I said yesterday, the image that sticks in my head is the people pounding on the doors.
Yeah.
They were this far from going and cutting down a tree and then using it for a battering ram.
Well, usually in the old movies where they cut down a tree, it's the men, and so they probably, most of those females probably had never swung an axe, and most of the men that's with them had never swung an axe, so they probably never picked up a fence post before. All elite socialists that they are, hard labor. Could the government bring us a tree, and then we could knock the door down with it? I mean, that's maybe we can get some illegals to do it or something. They don't do their own hard work.
Yeah.
Screaming and hollering and yelling is easy.
Yeah. But okay, so we saw that storming the Bastille, as if this were the French Revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
1789.
Like we were watching the old Frankenstein movies. I can see the scenes now where they panned out on the camera, and you see the windmill
on top of the hill.
And they're coming up the hill with the pitchforks and axes, torches, the whole 9 yards, storming the Bastille. Same thing.
Stein out.
So another one, media, the in-your-face behavior that we've seen from the mob in restaurants and in the Senate building halls. Okay, so that's not mob mentality.
Nope,
there's no such thing as a democratic mob, according to the media.
They were just protesting.
Okay.
People choose to characterize it as a mob.
Okay, so speaking of protest, Antifa, what do you call that? A rally?
Well,
is that a rally?
Well, last night on CNN, none of the people on there acknowledged Antifa as they don't acknowledge Antifa, so whatever Antifa does, it's not their fault. They're not riling those people up. That's the excuse for Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
Even though they have the same platform as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're not our people, so we disavow that.
So what about on the first day of the Senate Judiciary hearings? First day. We hear the mob up in the gallery blowing gaskets all over the place. Oil leaking everywhere. Smoke flying everywhere. I'm talking about a car that just blew a gasket. Okay? Because you're going to see smoke. The same thing. Yelling and screaming and disrupting everything. Even some Democrats that sit on the Judiciary Committee going right along with that. Again, mob mentality. What about this one? Telling the mob what to do.
Yeah.
You guys have on your side, on the left, on that Democratic side, you guys have political leaders out there telling the mob what to do. Get in their face. wherever you see them. Get in their face. Let them know they're not welcome. So you guys, you've created the mob. Now, and you line mainstream media, because some of the Democrat leaders have said, yeah, get in their face, etc., etc. You guys have gone out and you supported that. Now that American people are seeing, hey, you guys are nothing but a mob of crazy lunatics. So now here we go, they're trying to spin again.
Yeah, switch it up.
Every time something negative that they do comes back and haunts them, then they want to try to spin. So now you're trying to tell us and insist that there's no such thing as a Democratic mob. I'm here to tell you what I've seen and what a lot of people have seen, especially over the last 3 weeks, nothing but a mob. And if we can go back, if we want to go back into recent time, I see Maxine Waters out there with a bullhorn stuck up in front of that face. Yeah, wherever they are, let them know they're not welcome. Get up in their face. And everybody is listening to her.
Yeah.
So, hey, they've been given their marching orders. The mob's been given their marching orders. And now they're out acting it out. But yet, you want to talk about Miss Bash, Zena Bash, giving signs, white supremacy signs. Yeah. But we're not seeing the white supremacists out there acting a fool.
No.
Where are they? It's your folks. It's your little college kids, Buffy and Biff, that don't have anything else to do but get out in the street and raise hell. And like Bobby said yesterday, these old hippies that don't have anything else to do.
Old retired
hippies.
They're reliving their misspent youth. You know, we're back to the 60s, 70s again. We can go out and protest. You know, it's Kent State. You know, we can protest Attica.
Yeah.
We can protest the war. You know, we can protest civil rights, kind of, sort of, but not really. And because we're Democrats. But anyway, you know, we're re-energized. We're energized again. You know, we've got a new cause. You know, we got to get Trump out of office. You know, this is the problem with America. Getting Trump out of office is going to fix everything. The American people are, you know, going to be just as happy and content. Who said? Wasn't it Hillary that said, you know, civility would return if they took over the...
Oh yeah, if they get the House and the Senate back, civility will return.
Yeah, you know. So, I mean, so you're saying your people are uncivil?
Yeah.
And once they get their way, they're gonna be like
they'll calm down,
like
man.
A little kid, you know, that wants the sucker.
Yeah, I got the sucker now.
You know, or you bait them with, oh, okay, well, you can't have that because of the thing you did the other day. But, you know, remember, what's her name's got a birthday party coming up. You know, and if you be a good boy, you'll get to go to that, you know.
Here's what she said. If we are fortunate enough to win back the House and or the Senate, that's when civility can start again. But until then, the only thing that the Republicans seem to recognize and respect is strength. Yeah, you know what? Respect and strength. You're now seeing Republican senators starting to push back.
Yeah.
Because, and that's what you don't understand, Hillary. How are they now emboldened enough to push back?
Well, you
because they see a president pushing back, and you don't have those firewalls in place.
You don't
anymore.
have your hand up their back.
Yeah.
You know, you can't manipulate them and threaten people and get them to go along with whatever nonsense you want them to go along with. And you know this, but you want. I was reading something yesterday. You want to put the projection to be that you're still in power. You know, that you're still, you know, running things. It's just that Trump is in your way. Well, you know, and I know, and anybody that's been paying attention knows that no, your power has been taken. The firewalls have been eliminated. You can't hide anymore. So you go out here and you gin these people up. You get them all riled up. You know, Hillary's not going to be up there pounding on the Supreme Court door. Neither are any of these Hollywood types that, bash Trump either. They're not going to be out there putting their lives and their careers at risk doing something stupid. You know, Johnny Depp and all them can get up and say anything to the microphone.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean they're going to put action behind it.
They're not going to actively participate.
Martin Luther King and a lot of the civil rights leaders, they were the front line.
They actively participated.
And they were on the front line.
Yeah.
They weren't standing back. Y'all go on, you know,
go ahead,
back
guys.
on camera. No, they were on the front, you know.
Yeah.
I remember him and Abernathy and them dudes walking, locking arms. The leaders out front, you know, they didn't hide behind their people.
Nope.
You know,
see,
they went to jail.
These cowards do it. It's like Eric Holder. He comes out and says, when they go low, we kick them.
Yeah.
Okay? What does that mean, Eric? It means you get violent with folks, I guess, huh?
I guess.
And then, you know, you don't see any of these Democrat senators or congressmen, hey, y'all need to cut that crap out. You don't see anything like that. No, they're out there telling them, go get them.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Go get them. It's like, again, going back to Hillary, it's like, well, if we're fortunate enough to take back the House and or the Senate, that's when civility would start. Okay, like you said. So right now, there is no civility. Yeah, and we see that.
Yeah, and we see it.
And we see that.
And how we've watched it since Trump threw his hat in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, and it's progressively gotten worse.
Right.
You know, and I was thinking that there was a time, you know, you could actually talk to a Democrat. You know, you might disagree, but, you know, you guys could sit and talk, you know. Now it's like that civility is gone. It's not out there anymore. You talk to a Democrat and, you know, immediately they get angry with you, you know, because you're challenging them and they don't think you have a right to challenge them. And which, you know, what's happening now, you knew it was there in them. You understood that, you know. You wish that it was a surprise to you. You know, at least I do. I wished I was shocked by the behavior I'm seeing out of Democrats, but I'm like, well, that's who they are. You know, when I look at history, the left is like that. You know, if they don't get their way, they immediately go to violence.
Yeah. And aren't you people out there tired of the mainstream media and the Democrats gaslighting you?
Yeah.
Aren't you tired of that?
You should be.
You should be very tired of that. Because when they gaslight you, like they're doing now, there's no such thing as a Democratic mob. When they gaslight you, you should be upset because what they're saying is, look, you guys are idiots. We know you're idiots. And we're going to let you know you're idiots because if you listen to us, you'll start to see our side of it because, hey, you need to listen to us because you're too stupid to figure out and see what we're doing. So we'll gaslight you instead. You should be very tired of that. You should be highly insulted. See, it doesn't insult me because I know who those fools are.
Yeah, you know who you're dealing with.
Know who you're dealing with. That you know, in Sun Tzu's Art of War, one of the things he talks about is know your enemy, know what their capabilities are, know what they're willing to do.
Yeah. And
know that they're willing to do anything to get their victory. Anything. So, hey, if you don't mind being gaslighted by those idiots, go ahead. Be my guest. Be my guest. But, again, the things that we've seen over the past several months, you know, several weeks, and we talked about it. Hey, they've always been vicious, but they're even more vicious now because they know that they're losing control. Yeah. They know that all of the mechanisms that they've had in place for decades, Trump is ripping all that stuff out, man. He's not doing it nail at a time either. Okay, he's bulldozing that infrastructure that they put in place over the decades, and they see that being lost. I was reading this article this morning. You know how Phil Bredesen, he's running for the Senate down in Tennessee, right? He's a former governor down there. He said, he came out and says, yeah, I would vote for Kavanaugh. And then one of his aides got caught on camera. Well, we're just seeing that to see if we can get some of these moderate Republicans to vote for us. Oh, so you weren't serious about you supporting Kavanaugh. You were just doing that as a political tactic to get more votes, get some of the Republicans to come over and vote for you. Guess what, Phil? And the rest of you Democrats, there's nothing you can say, nothing you can do to get me to ever vote for a Democrat. You can go out and sound as sincere as you want. Say anything you want. Do something like that. Yeah, we're just trying to see if we get more Republicans, moderate Republicans, to vote for us come November so we can get this governorship. Again, Phil, there's nothing you can say that will get me to vote for a Democrat. I remember when I lived down in Tennessee, he was the governor during a period when I lived down there. And I remember I was outside in the front yard, and this young lady came up. It was campaign time down there. And she came up and she started talking to me about her dad, Darrell Walker. And the first question I asked her, I said, before you go any further, Democrat ticket, Republican ticket. She says, Republican. Come on, we can talk. Because if she had said Democrat, get out of my yard.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, keep it moving. Keep it moving. And I actually went and worked in his administration for a time on the planning commission there. I did that for 4 years. And so I say that to say this. You say you're Democrat, you can forget it.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me.
Yeah, it's like, when you're a kid and you're trying new things and you drink whiskey and it didn't agree with you and you got super duper sick.
Like in 1968 when
yeah. The smell of whiskey now at a distance turns you on.
Yeah, it turns you on.
And it's like when you have that experience where something is just, leaves a bad experience on you, like the Democrats have, you can make all the motions and say all the things you want. If you pour a can, drinking something out of a can of Coke, and then you hear something rattling down in the bottom of it, and you're like, what the heck is that? And you're looking down there, it's a dead mouse. You're never going to drink any Coke again, ever. You done.
Yeah.
You done. If you win $2 million, you will never, ever drink another can of Coke, cause that bad experience in your mind. And that's how it is with the Democrats. You guys have damaged your brand. It's like a stop sign or a traffic sign of any type in a hunting area. It's got buckshot holes all in it. Remember we used to walk down the street where we lived on Alfred Street. They used to hunt in the woods down there on Harry.
Down Harry.
Yeah, they shooting up the signs. And you always saw these buckshot signs and all. And it's like you guys are damaging your brand. You almost destroyed it. You've given it over to people who do nothing but destroy whatever they touch. And now your brand is damaged. And when people hear Democrat, they think they're going to think Judge Kavanaugh, what they did to him, how they
and their behavior.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their behavior. All that people are going to remember is negative things that you did. They're not going to associate you with the good economy. They're not going to associate you with jobs. They're not going to associate the Democrat. Nobody's going to associate them with that. They're going to associate them with all the negative stuff that they're supporting. Who wants to be on their way to work and have a bunch of wackos blocking off the street like they're running a checkpoint? Who wants to do that?
Right.
And you say you're anti-Trump. Well, now this person might not have been paying attention. They're going to say, well, who is this guy you don't like so much?
What did he do?
Yeah, what did he do to you?
Yeah, what did he do?
Like Kevin said, did Donald Trump come to your house and break in, tear the place up, and leave and told you he'd be back next week to do the same thing?
Soon as I see you get furniture up in here, I'll be back to tear that up too.
Kick the door in again. Did he do that to you? No, that's not what he's done. Well, where's the anger coming from?
Well, see, now look at the anger that is being portrayed in the media now, like Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Dude, you're out there yelling and screaming just like the folks out on the streets are, because Trump says, hey, you guys are nothing more than a mob.
Yeah.
So now you pick now you get sucked into that.
Yeah.
Don Lemon, he's always sucking you guys into something.
Yeah. And you bite right off.
Yeah, you just bite right into it. And then you bite into it and it's like a pit bull.
Yeah.
I ain't letting go.
I'm not gonna let go.
Yeah, you shot me in the hip. I ain't letting go. Oh, you hit me over the head with an axe handle. I'm not letting go. I done bit into you now. So he makes you guys bite into something. And then it's like, again, Don Lemon, you get on air and you're angry because Trump said that your folks are nothing but an angry mob, and then you just fall right into that yourself. And you start being angry yourself. He called us a mob. Well, hey, man, if you quack like a duck.
You're screaming like a mob saying, I'm not a mob.
Yeah. If it quacks like a duck, I'm going to take the bet that it's a duck.
Yeah. I know what a mob look like.
Yeah.
You know, because I've been in them.
If I see the lightning in the sky, I'm going to take the bet that that's going to be followed by thunder.
Yeah.
Okay? If I see a duck swimming in water, I'm not going to look at it as like, hey man, that's a cat over there swimming in the water. No, cats don't like to swim in water. But hey man, that's a cat over there. No man, that's a duck.
And then it takes off flying.
Yeah.
Well, it was a cat. You know,
he morphed into a duck.
You don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
You know, even though you destroying your brand, you not only don't want to let go, you double down.
Yeah.
Then you triple down.
Yep.
You know, you keep going to the same thing, making yourself look, ridiculous. And people like, man, is this the party I support? Mm-hmm. Is this where we're going? Mm-hmm. We're going here.
Yeah,
and you have to decide whether you want to throw your logic and reason out, and follow these people down the black hole they're going down. Or you can say, well, all right, I'm not sure where I'm going to land, but I'm done with them. Yeah.
Again, the thing that's seared into my mind, and it will always be there. It's indelible. It's when they're pounding on the doors at the Supreme Court. It's like you folks have taken something and just turned it into something that is like really uncalled for. Okay, protest. But you don't have to go out and be as vicious and angry as you are. Again, you go back to Martin Luther King when they were out marching in the streets. Nothing but courtesy.
Yeah. Peaceful.
No anger anywhere.
Civil disobedience.
Yeah.
It wasn't about you going out tearing
stuff up,
intimidating people,
right,
and making a general, jerk of yourself.
Right.
People are watching, sitting in front of their TVs all over the world at night, watching what happened in America. And what they're seeing is these, cops hosing people down, running through crowds, clubbing people and cracking heads, and all this kind of stuff, and they were just being civil. They were taking it. They weren't fighting back, but you guys, not only with the fight back, you instigate.
Yeah.
You walk up to a woman, she's not talking what you want to hear, and you kick her. You haul off and kick her like, what are we, in kindergarten now? Okay, look, y'all, you don't kick other people. You don't spit on people. This is unkind. Let my mother had heard that I spit on anybody. I might not have made it out of kindergarten.
Man, we both be eating our food through a straw. Because she done wore us out.
Man, shoot. Then stuck you in the closet or something. And you stay in there till you learn that, when can I come out? When you learn that to stop spitting on people. It was just something that, sent her off.
It's like Orrin Hatch said in response to the young lady, when are you going to start listening to me? When you grow up.
Yeah, when you grow up.
Up till that point, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
Because trying to listen to you and trying to reason with you, man, I may as well be beating my head against the wall.
Yeah.
What's the result of that? I'm going to have a serious head injury. Well, trying to talk to you and reason with you, while you're yelling and screaming, man, that's like beating my head against the wall. It's a no-win situation for us both, is what it comes down to. You had something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
What was it? The minimum wage thing.
The minimum wage, that whole fiasco that started back from 2012, where we need a minimum wage. Well, it started before that, but the unions, after a lot of states went right to work, the unions no longer had the power to force people to join unions anymore.
Right.
So they looked around in the landscape and they said, service workers. We can organize service workers, people in restaurants and car washes and, service industries, hairdressers, whatever, So they go to New York, of course, only place where you're going to get something like this nonsense up off the ground. And they decided that car washes were underpaying people, that they were paying people $3 and $4 an hour to wash cars for what they say 60, 70 hours a day. You have to take a week, you have to take what liberals say, with a grain of salt anyway. But, even if it was that, you understand that in a lot of service jobs, you might get minimum wage, you might not. But you make more money in tips than you make in wages. And it's been like that forever, The guy works 60, 70 hours a week. He brings home more money in tips than he brings home in wages, And so being liberals, the idea that there's money out here they can't get their hands on, So they figured, I know what, we'll pump the wage up to $15 an hour. Then, all these guys will be making $15 an hour. Then we can get more in tax revenue. And then the union gets their cut with union dues and blah, blah, blah. And it looks like a lefty socialist mecca. It's just the greatest thing since sliced bread to them. But there are the unintended consequences.
Always the unintended consequences.
There is ideals and then there's reality. Okay, the reality is you cut the low-wage worker out the market. You cut some businesses out the market. The more profitable businesses automate. So you got businesses now where they may have 1 and 2 employees when they may have had 25, because he can't afford to pay these guys $15, dollars an hour. So it's cheaper for him to invest in machinery to put these guys out of work. Now, what does the guy that's just got put out of work do? Well, they go buy them some vans. The small owner with his hand car wash, he buys him a van and he works out of his van. So now, not only have you got rid of that revenue stream, now you send it black market. So they're coming to the customer, washing them their car. You don't get any of that money now.
Getting paid in cash.
You don't get your multi-million-dollar regulation revenue stream because, they got so many regulations on business. The guy had a window where all his business that he needed, regulation certificates he needed, and he had a whole window full of them, in New York. So, the average person cannot start up a business because the initial cost is so high. You got to come up with 50 to 100 grand to even open a business. Something simple as a restaurant or a car wash for the regulatory constraints. So now you've sent this guy black market. Now you chasing him down, trying to shut him down. Now you diverting resources away from something else to do this when you could have left it alone and it'll work. And it was working for you. People had jobs. They were paying taxes and stuff. Oh, well, they were paying some people under the table. Yeah, that's going to happen. I don't care what you do. That's going to happen. Yeah. But you had more businesses up and running, with that revenue stream and the regulations they got to pay for every year and all that stuff. Now that's gone. You've destroyed the industry.
And for a small business owner, they're looking at it from a practical standpoint. They're saying, okay, I'm paying these people this much. Let's say that's $10.50 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I got to add another $4.50 an hour to everybody across the board. Okay. So this guy's he's looking at those pennies. Then he's looking at What does it cost me to operate my business? An hour. Okay, so it costs me $27 an hour right now to operate my business, which in some cases for a lot of small businesses, man, they're right on the edge already.
Yeah, on the margin.
Yeah, they're right on the edge already. So now I got to add $4.50 an hour more to my employees. He starts crunching the numbers. Okay, I'm right on the edge at $27 an hour. That's what it's costing me to operate. Now that's going to move me up to $32 an hour. I'm in a money-losing situation. Yeah, I can't even run my business anymore. Okay, just because I've added $4.50 an hour in wages to my employees, my operating expenses have now moved from $27 an hour, which was already on the edge, to $32 an hour. I may as well close my doors.
He closes up and go gets him a van and works out of his van.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
And then too, it's the ripple effect. Now the building, the small rundown building that he had fixed up to run his car wash in, is boarded up. And if the owner of that business wants to make that business, that building useful again, they got to convert it to another use. So that car wash isn't coming back, And so, but liberals,
and then the owner of that building he may be in a situation where I can't afford to go in and renovate this building and turn it into an office building.
So it's just boarded up.
So now it's just sitting.
And then in 5 years it's abandoned.
Yeah. It's just sitting.
But it's amazing how they do it. And then the union guy, they talking to him. He's trying to say that, it's not the $15 an hour minimum wage. There are other circumstances. The reason car washes are going out of business. No, we can track that with the minimum wage hike. When you brought the minimum wage up to $15 an hour, this business collapsed. Same thing with restaurants. We can't afford this.
We can't afford it.
So they close up.
A concern like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they can better reposition themselves. Okay, so $15 an hour. You walk into a McDonald's now, you can walk right up. They have these little kiosks. You can walk right. You don't have to talk to anyone. I can order my stuff right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
And then they just call out your number.
Yeah. They just call out your number.
Yeah.
Now, how many folks behind the counter do I need for that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't need the same staff that I used to have, because in the olden days, I made my McDonald's franchise may have had 3 or 4 cash register stations.
Yeah.
Okay. I can eliminate those.
Eliminate those altogether.
Because people can walk up to the kiosk and place their order. All I need now is probably one person behind the counter. So I'm down from 4 to 1.
Working the window.
Okay. Working the window. I got my cooks in the back. Okay. I need my cooks in the back. So now I can eliminate 3 or 4 positions because I can bring in this kiosk. See, for concerns for businesses like McDonald's, hey man, they can make that move. They can make that transition. They can bring in things to offset. Whereas a small business owner, I can't make that move like that.
And one of the bigger guys, he said, well, how's the minimum wage work for you? He said, it's been the greatest thing that ever happened to me. He said, because it eliminated my competition on my end. There's no competition below me except the street guy. It eliminated the competition. I'm not going to see any competition because nobody can break into the market anymore. And it's these unintended consequences that the left, and it's like, the kid with the broken toy. It's his favorite toy until he break it, and then he puts it down and never plays with it.
And go on about something
else.
And
he's going to look to break something else. And that's the left. And as I was talking with my brother this morning, and we, say it all the time, it's all about killing capitalism. It's not about improving the lives of people. It's about killing capitalism. Okay, we've destroyed the hand wash business, the car wash business. We sent it underground. We're killing the restaurant business. We're destroying the economic rungs for people to climb up out of poverty. You can no longer, in New York, like in the old days, guy grabbed him a cart, pushed it around and sold stuff off of it. If he was successful enough, maybe he'd get him a permanent, get another cart, work the other end of town. You know,
next thing you know,
you get another cart, and he's working another end of town. He's in front of this factory over here, this factory over there. You know, he's got carts. He converts to trucks. You know, he gets his trucks rolling, and the next thing he says, "Okay, I'm getting pretty big here. I'm going to open me a restaurant.
Not only am I going to open up me a restaurant, if things continue to go as they go, man, I'm going to start franchising.
Yeah, I can break in. I can start in Staten Island." Now I can break into Brooklyn and Manhattan.
Yep.
You know, I get in those places. I can break into Long Island. You know, and I use the same business model. Started with the truck, roll it around in there until people say, "Hey, you know, that's pretty good." You know, and business is advertised best by word of mouth.
Sam McDonald did not own one hamburger joint.
Nope.
When he first started, he went to hamburger joints with his business model.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He had no building whatsoever. The dude was like a door-to-door salesman, is pretty much what he was.
Yeah.
Going out to, hey, hamburger joint, over here. Look at my business model. Let's incorporate that into your business. And some hamburger joints, man, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that. And then some burger joints, it's like, talk to me about this.
Yeah.
And bought into his business model. But McDonald's didn't own a building.
Nope.
All he had was, man, here's how we do hamburgers and French fries and shakes and stuff like that. Here, we're gonna use the mass production model like you see in the automotive manufacturing industry. Mass productions on hamburgers, man, I only cook a hamburger when somebody comes up, hey man, give me a hamburger, fries, and something to wash it down with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you talking about mass production? Yeah. Again, some folks went for it. Some hamburger stores went for it. Some didn't. Those that went for it, man, they made out like a bandit. Now here come the liberals. It's like, we're gonna tell you what you're gonna pay folks an hour.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're gonna tell me what I pay folks an hour? I know what I can afford to pay folks an hour. No, you're gonna pay them $15 an hour. I don't care what. Yeah, but that's gonna ruin me.
So, you know, because it's only fair, you know. But it's about destroying capitalism. You know, Colonel Sanders, Harlan Sanders, when he started out, he riding around with his pots and stuff in the back. He'd go into a restaurant and pitch his thing to the dude, you know, and he'd cook this stuff up and sell it to his customers. The customers would be like, wow.
Whoa!
You know,
Where'd you get this chicken from, man?
They were like, okay, this is going to increase that. So what do I got to do? Well, he franchised the dude. Okay, I'll supply you this, I'll supply you that, you know, and you just cook this. And the boy was a stickler about his recipe. If he got a bad report, he'd go get his stuff, you know, because he understood pleasing people. Leftists don't care about that.
You know, about that.
It's not about their product or anything. It's about the control. We got to keep you from moving up. You're never going to get a push cart and do that stuff again. You're never going to start, you know, out of your trunk and get something up off the ground. You must come through us. And we decide, you know,
what the price points are going to be.
The price points going to be. That's what you're going to pay. You know, you can't do business without our say so, you know. And these are the things that we see crumbling under them. The unions aren't as strong as they used to be, you know. And right now, states, you know, and even federal government,
the right to work,
are attacking the union stronghold. You know, I forget who it was that said, "Why should a government employee even have a union? You know, you're a public servant. You know, you want to negotiate with the people's money. You're a public servant. If you don't like being a public servant, get a job in the private sector, where you can do that kind of stuff. But this is a public service, and it's not for you to come and negotiate what the people are going to pay you in this service, you know. And that stuff is going away, and people hollering and screaming about it. Well, the leftists are, you know, because it takes away their power.
Can you understand, too, whose pockets have the unions always been in? So, the unions making some extraordinary contributions to the Democrat Party. Now, with the right to work states, and, well, I don't have to pay the union dues. Plus, because a lot of folks had a problem with, and I remember a friend of mine in California, she's a teacher, and she had a problem with paying union dues to the NEA when the NEA was opposite of her religious values. It's like, why should I have to pay union dues to the NEA when they go against my value system? Yeah. So for a lot of folks, right to work states, oh yeah, man, I don't have to give up my money to this doggone corrupt union anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not being forced to do that. But I have a right to work. Yeah. Without having to pay union dues.
I remember a conversation, all my mother's side of the family was here they were up from Tennessee or from Indianapolis, and there's some Chicago people in, and they were sitting in my mother's dining room talking about Bush, I think, at the time. I wasn't a big George Bush fan. He was just better than what was opposite. And they were talking about the unions. And I'm like, when the unions bought everything in this house, I'm like, the unions ain't paid a dime for anything in this house. Mm-hmm. Neither has General Motors. Mm-hmm. My parents worked for General Motors, but General Motors have come up here and bought anything and brought it and put it in this house. They earned that. That simple nuance is what she didn't get. Mm-hmm. No, the unions and General Motors. No, your parents worked for it. People who aren't in unions and who don't work for General Motors have bought houses too. Mm-hmm. It's your effort, your labor, your skill set.
And your attitude.
Yeah, your skill set and your attitude. Mm-hmm. These are things that help you increase your earning power.
Your prosperity.
And see, the left will tell you, no, it's not. You don't have to increase your earning power. We just have to make the businesses pay you more money, even though you haven't earned the right to a $15.
It's that wealth redistribution thing is what it is. And that's what the $15 an hour is about. Hey, Mr. Business Owner, you're making too much money and you're not sharing that money with your workers. Well, I'm giving to my workers what my business will bear. Yeah. If I give more than what my business can bear, I don't have a business anymore. Mm-hmm. You okay with that? Yeah, we're okay with that. You don't have a business anymore. Now I'm out in the streets, and the folks that work for me when I close down business, they're out in the streets too, looking for a job.
Now, and this is not. It affects the community as a whole.
Absolutely.
Now that's fewer dollars coming into the community. Depending on where the business owner is buying his stuff, and he's probably buying local. Mm-hmm. So the dollar is passing through the community. Mm-hmm. 3, 4, 5 times before it leaves. Mm-hmm. Under socialism, money comes in and goes right back out. Mm-hmm. It doesn't turn around in the community. It goes in and comes back out because it's not earned. Mm-hmm. These people, you're paying people not to work. So they're not earning anything. They have no interest in investing. They have no interest in developing anything because they're going to get this set amount of money every month, and they know it. So you destroy that ambition, So now the left is trying to make this Cuba or wherever, and where you work for the government. The workers own the means of production. Where at, man? Mm-hmm. Where on the planet does that happen? Mm-hmm. You don't go to a business and start working and then start telling the business owner how to run his business.
How to run his business.
If you could do that, you would be running your own business.
Yeah. You do that to the CEO, it's like, oh, you don't like working here, huh? Yeah. Okay. We'll let you go then.
Yeah. If I'm working a roach coach and the dude hires on next to me to work for me, now the guys, he takes the day off, I write a circuit. And I start getting complaints behind this dude because he's telling them this, that, and the other thing, contrary to what my business model. I'm getting rid of him.
Yeah. Because you're going contrary.
Yeah, because you're messing up my business model.
Yeah, man, you're messing with my commerce.
Yeah, you're messing with commerce. Yeah, I'm trying to enterprise here, and you're running around there talking about ideals. Yeah, ideals aren't going to put money in your pocket, dude. Yeah. And it's that mindset that we're helping people is what they want to convince everybody is. No, you're trying to destroy capitalism so you can install socialism and you can control people. And it's simple as that.
It's simple as that. All right, let's get out of here. We almost got 45 minutes here. All right, so again, if you like what you hear, if you like just listening to us and coming on every day and listening to us, hey, give us a like. And then if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bell out there also so you can be notified whenever we put up a new video. If you are coming on and you think that we're absolutely out of our minds and we don't know what the heck we're talking about, or you totally disagree with what we're talking about, you can give us a thumbs down, but keep on coming. What did you say yesterday, Bobby? Even if you're there giving us a like, hey, you were watching.
You were watching.
Right? You were watching. Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't give up the ship. Stay strong out there. For God's sakes, go out and vote on November 6th, right? We can't afford to have the Democrats take the House and or the Senate back. We can't afford that.
No,
the stakes are too high. Okay? Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Go out.
Not for yourself, for your children.
Yeah.
And your children.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.